and welcome to this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. I am Tharadu Amarasekara.
And I am Megara Vijayamana. This is the sound of profitability. According to Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister's Office, Sri Lanka is on the talks about the possibility of purchasing Russian oil after United States eased the sanctions on fuel purchase from Moscow. The US issued a 30-day waiver for countries to buy sanctioned Russian oil and petroleum products stranded at sea. This is in a bid to stabilize global energy markets roiled by the Iran war waged by Washington and Israel. Sri Lanka's move came at a meeting between Sri Lanka's Foreign Minister Vijitha Herath and Russian Ambassador Levan S. Desgaryan, the Foreign Minister's Office stated. Sri Lanka's decision to explore Russian oil comes as the island nation raised the fuel prices as a deterrent to prevent overusage amid limited supply options. Before 2012, Sri Lanka had been mainly relying on Iranian light crude oil, which could only be extracted from the 57-year-old refinery built by Iran. However, the island nation was forced to stop Iranian crude imports after the 2012 US sanction on Iran oil. Later, it switched to Murban crude from the UAE and was compelled to increase refined oil imports.
Sri Lanka's cabinet has approved a project to digitalize the Right to Information Commission according to recommendations by the World Bank based on a $200,000 grant by the Open Society Foundations. The RTI Commission, which was established under the Right to Information Act No. 12 of 2016, currently handles all its appeals and hearings manually due to lack of technical tools. The proposed digitalization project aims to make the Commission's operations more efficient. The $200,000 grant will be used to purchase necessary machinery and hardware, develop specialized software, recruit human resource experts and technical consultants, and build the capacity and skills of the current staff.
The Asian Development Bank President Masato Kanda, who met the Sri Lankan Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya at the ADB Manila headquarters, reaffirmed the strong development partnership between ADB and Sri Lanka. Kanda was quoted in an ADB statement, quote, "We are committed to helping Sri Lanka rebuild after Cyclone Ditwah, while also investing in the country's future by empowering women entrepreneurs and strengthening education and essential skills," close quote. He emphasized ADB's response to the devastation caused by Cyclone Ditwah. ADB is fast-tracking an emergency assistance loan to restore damaged infrastructure and support affected livelihoods, building on emergency financing already mobilized. Amarasuriya was the keynote speaker at ADB's International Women's Day event. ADB is ready to provide more than $1 billion annually to Sri Lanka from 2026 to 2029, according to the global lender. And now it's time for the corporate highlights. India's Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited stated that it owns 201,565,500 ordinary shares of the Colombo Dockyard PLC, which is a 51% stake, despite there being a mandatory offer made to shareholders which were not taken up. The mandatory offer to buy shares at 40 rupees each expired on the 12th of March as per stock exchange filing. Mazagon held 41.73% immediately before the offer and acquired 9.27% from Onomichi, the previous owner, as per a tripartite sale and purchase agreement. Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders is headquartered in Mumbai, India, and is engaged in the design, construction, repair and refurbishment of naval vessels, submarines, offshore platforms and a range of commercial vessels. The Government of India is the company's largest shareholder, holding 81.22% of equity through direct holdings.
John Keells Hotels has sold their 98.39% stake in Candy Walk-in Limited, the company that owns Cinnamon Citadel, to the Lavish Leisure of the Daddy Group for 2.77 billion rupees. the divestment is aligned with the asset-light strategy of the hotel's business and the commencement of operations of Candy Mist by Cinnamon, the operating entity of which is 40% owned by the company. The deal is expected to close by March 31st. The company said in a stock exchange filing. John Keells Hotels will maintain its current branding and management for at least 1 year according to the terms of the agreement. The funds from the sale will be reinvested into modernizing and improving the company's remaining hospitality portfolio, John Keells Holdings said.
Here is Tarindu with the ESG update of the week.
News in the ESG sector, the Cabinet of Ministers has approved 14 recommendations given by a committee set up post-Cyclone Ditwah to make Sri Lanka more climate resilient. These include 7 recommendations for strategic research and system development and 7 recommendations for implementation and monitoring. Cyclone Ditwah impacted approximately 2.3 million people and has estimated to have caused economic damage of $4.1 billion. Considering the cyclone as a climate stress test, a committee was set up afterwards to make recommendations on moving away from a response and recovery reactive framework to a science-based resilience proactive framework. Here's Megara with the international update of the week.
Oil prices surged and the US gas prices rose as Iran intensified its attack on energy infrastructure across the Middle East. And according to a senior official figure, he suggested that the crucial Strait of Hormuz wouldn't be open for ships anytime soon. In a televised interview, Iranian parliamentary speaker Mohammad Bakr Kalibaf said the Strait of Hormuz remained under threat because of the American and Israeli presence in the Gulf region. Iran's fresh attacks on energy infrastructure have added to worries about global oil and natural gas supply. The UAE suspended operations at its Shah natural gas field outside Abu Dhabi following a drone attack. A separate drone attack caused a fire at the key Emirati oil port of Fujairah, while an Iraqi oil field also came under attack. Crude oil prices remain about 40% higher than before US-Israeli strikes on Iran, which prompted Tehran to choke off the Strait of Hormuz, ordinarily a conduit for around a fifth of global oil and liquefied natural gas supply.
And that's it for this week's LOLC Securities Weekly Market Roundup. No matter what investment decision you make it with the right intent. We will see you in a brand new week.